You're watching a classic episode of Bass Pro Shops Outdoor World Television.
Well, this is the first part of June. Squirrel season opens the last part of May, the Saturday before Memorial Day, so we have a real long season here in Missouri. It opens in and closes 15th of January, so we get to hunt squirrels from the spring, right on through to late winter. We get to learn a lot of different techniques. In the fall, I really love just sneaking around, listening for acorn shavings or listening to them chew on hickory nuts, cutting walnuts and so forth. But here in the spring, it's a little bit tougher hunting. The foliage is out. It's hard to see the squirrels. You can see them jumping from timber to timber. They don't make a lot of noise chewing hickory nuts, so it's a little bit more of a challenge, especially if you hunt with a 22. In the spring here this year, we had kind of a late freeze. We had about 3 days of 20-degree weather, which froze a lot of the buds and so forth, so I'm afraid we're not going to have much of an acorn crop this year, which really hurts all the wildlife. The turkeys, the deer, and the squirrels depend on the acorn crop. We went out the first evening and eased around a little bit. The squirrels weren't moving much. It's kind of hot and muggy.
Well, we're trying to do a little bit of squirrel hunting, but it started sprinkling. Got a little bit of wind moving the leaves, so it makes it kind of hard to see if the squirrels are jumping from tree to tree. This timber down through here is really open. Not very much cover at all, so the squirrels can see us a long ways. So we're mostly going to just kind of sit still. Hopefully they'll move. We can see where they move, and we'll try to get a tree between us, ease in on them, and see if we can get a shot. The good part about this open timber is you can see them quite a ways away, and it makes for some real good 22 rifle shots.
You learn so much from squirrel hunting. You learn good stalking skills. You learn patience, especially if you're hunting with a 22, trying to get that shot with all of the foliage on. And it teaches you good marksmanship, too.
When I first started squirrel hunting, I used a shotgun. My dad wouldn't turn me loose with a rifle because they shoot too far, I guess. But that was a good way to start learning how to squirrel hunt. It was easier to hit, especially if you got a lot of foliage on the trees, and I ended up killing more squirrels and building my confidence up. And then a few years later, I started hunting with a 22, and it was a whole new ball game. The squirrels move around so much, and especially shooting through leaves, you really have to pick your shot and wait on your shot.
That was a little gray squirrel. He was way up there in the tree.
Squirrel hunting is one of the most valuable lessons learned, I think, when you start hunting other game, big game. Besides, it's just flat fun.
We've got a deer right out there that evidently heard us. Maybe caught a glimpse of us through the brush, but she don't know exactly what we are. She's just standing out there blowing. We're just going to sit here and let her drift off. If we go out there and jump her and she goes crashing through the woods, maybe spook us with squirrels for a while, so we'll just let her settle down or get out of here one. I've seen her through the brush there. Couldn't tell what it was. Might have been a little old buck. May have been a doe. She was curious enough to come back up here and look and see what the heck we were.
Got up the next morning, and it was really kind of the same way. Squirrels didn't start moving until about 8 o'clock. But it didn't last very long. A lot of times they'll feed for 2 or 3 hours, you know, and then they'll lay up during the day, you know, lay out on a big old limb flattened out or something. Something that I started doing several years ago, I would rattle a bush or slap it on the ground and use the distress call of a squirrel. And it sounds like a hawk or something flying down getting a squirrel, and it really lights the woods up. I mean, if there's any squirrels around, they start barking. I was telling my brother about it the other day, you know, what I'd been doing. And he says, man, he said, that goes against everything we were ever taught. You know, you're supposed to sneak around the woods and not let anything know that you're in the woods. But I've convinced him that he needs to try it, and the next time I hunt with him, we are going to try it. Now, we started out hunting with the .22 and killed several squirrels. And I got a new little old 410 shotgun the other day, and I thought I'd just try it out. I really do prefer to hunt with a .22, but I wanted to try this little 410 out, and I took it out and shot a couple squirrels with it. It was kind of fun. I just enjoy the squirrel hunting.
410 worked pretty good. He was coming down that tree there. I'm pretty sure it's a dead tree. It looks like a hole right there. I had to shoot him kind of quick. A little old briar. Nice young little briar. Be good with biscuits and gravy.
You know, when I was a youngster, we ate squirrel and gravy and biscuits for breakfast just real regular. A lot of times we ate squirrel for supper too. It's really good tasting meat, very good table fare. And we're going to fry some of it up here in a minute and try to make some gravy and have some biscuits, gravy, and squirrel for breakfast. Fine table fare. Well, this right here is the best part of squirrel hunting. Just fix some squirrel, a little bit of squirrel gravy, and skillet toast. It's almost fit for a king right here. Oh yeah. This is about as good as it gets.